Hi everybody, I am Sunil Mahabal. I will introduce myself a bit. My total work experience is of 41 years and 9 months, and all along I have worked mostly in automobile or machining industry. So the departments which I have looked after during this 41 years vary from maintenance, then capital purchase, tool room, safety, sustainability, then engineering services, scrap disposal, indirect purchasing, and one of the assignment was innovation. So what we did, this is, I am just going to share the experience, but also I am trying to answer the myth that innovation can be done only by few people, gifted people, not by everybody. But my experience says that it is not like that. Innovation can literally be done by anybody working in the organization. So the myth is not correct. And today's session or presentation, which I have arranged, is on innovation. And it goes like this. So innovative thinking. At the bottom you can see my name, the name of the firm, then mobile number as well as Gmail to contact. So let us see what people have said about innovation. Great people like Thomas Edison. There is a way to do it better. Find it. So there is always a better way to do. Thomas Edison, who invented the bulb, failed 2000 times, and he wrote a book on that, 2000 ways of not making a bulb. So that is how he handled the failures. So he says that there is always a better way to do it. So do it, find it. Now, standing still is the fastest way of moving backwards in a rapidly changing world. Imagination is the highest kite one can fly. Lauren Bacall says that. It is like a treadmill that if you do not do anything, you will fall. Even to stand at one location, you have to run. Then what says Albert Einstein? If at first the idea does not sound absurd, there is no hope for it. So generally, the ideas sound absurd, always. Further, innovation happens when someone improves on or makes a significant contribution to something that has already been invented. And converting the knowledge into a wealth is called innovation. This is the definition of innovation. Innovation is a complex process. Even defining innovation is problematic. This picture will clarify to a major extent the idea about the differentiation between invention and innovation. The wheel cut out of a stone was an invention. But when Henry Ford utilized that invention and built upon it to make an automobile, it became an innovation. So innovation is nothing but building upon an invention. That invention might be of anyone. This table will give you comparison between creativity, invention and innovation. Creativity is novel ideas that are communicated, useful and appealing. Creating something new, making the invention into a product form, that is innovation. Creativity is a fuzzy idea that can't be clarified until it is made into a prototype. So creativity is nothing but the idea that comes to somebody's brain. But for the sake of the world, it doesn't carry any meaning unless and until it is converted into idea. So a new to the world invention, when somebody builds a prototype out of that and brings it to the world, that is invention. And innovation is churning it out and making money, making profit. So this reminds me of a story about a brew making person. That brew making person used to sell his mocktail, and he was beating the competition. The sale His sale was maximum in the city. So few people were worried ki why his sale is more, because everybody is selling mocktail, but why the customers go only to his place? So they discovered that he mixes some gas into that mocktail or the brew. When this news spread, his childhood friend of that person who was making the mocktail with gas, that childhood friend came to him and told him that if you are ready to give me a signed blank check of your bank, then I will give you an idea which will make you a billionaire. Now this childhood friend himself was very poor. He did not have even proper clothes to wear. He did not have money to arrange for two-time meals. So this owner of the mocktail shop, he thought that what this person will tell me. So he was reluctant to take the idea from him and giving him the blank check. But what this fellow used to do, every day he will come to his shop, he will sit in a chair and keep staring at him. He will not utter a single word. He will not order anything from that shop. He will just sit there and stare at him. So a few days after, the owner got frustrated and he came to his table and asked him, this is your blank check. Now you tell me what is in your mind. What is your idea? So that poor fellow, his friend, uttered only two words: bottle it. The meaning was, whatever you are making a mocktail and adding gas into it, so you bottle it. This was the idea. Then this story, let me tell you, this story is about Coca-Cola. And today we know that we can buy Coca-Cola bottle in any corner of the world. So the simple idea of two words, bottle it, made him trillionaire, not only billionaire. So that is the power of creativity. But unless and until it is converted into some product and then sold, that idea cannot be realized. So idea is only idea then. So creativity is nothing but ideas. Third definition, when you invest something, when that person knew that the idea is to bottle it, so he had to invest it. He had to arrange for a bottle, then add gas, then seal it properly so that the gas will not leak. So he has invested into that, and he invested money to convert the idea into prototype. And innovation is when your ideas start minting money for you. So that is innovation. So fourth definition, it is based on thinking of new things. So somebody we may call crazy. That one fellow who came to our company as an ITI trainee, he came to me and he handed over me a paper on which something was written. So I asked him, what is this? So he told that he got an idea while sleeping yesterday, and he had written time also there, 2:30 a.m. And the idea was that if a zinc and copper conductor is inserted into the trunk of a tree, it can generate electricity. So his idea, which he had written at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, was that we can have street lights on the trees itself. Now this is a crazy idea, creative idea. But if somebody invests into that and tries to experiment it and then convert it, then it will become a very big innovation and it will be a breakthrough innovation, because almost 20% of the generated energy goes into lighting. So we can do away with that if that is converted. So innovation is equal to creativity plus commercialization. Now, innovation is not only about intuition, that it will come to somebody, then he will share it and somebody will invest money. It is not like that. There are proven tools also for systematically generating creative ideas. There are tools in market and many people utilize that. So it is not only about intuition, it is more than that. But one thing we have to remember always while inculcating the culture of innovation into our organization, that creative idea can come to anyone irrespective of his experience, irrespective of his education, irrespective of his age. His creative idea can come to anyone. Now here is one example of a soap making factory. So it was a very big factory. They had a brand image in market, and one problem got developed into their assembly line, the final conveyor, which used to carry the wrapped soaps into cartons, and cartons get packed, and then carton used to get loaded in the truck. Now it was totally unmanned line. Everything was automatic. And once the dealers complained that when we open the carton, out of the 100 soaps we have purchased, 4 to 5 are only wrappers. There is no soap inside. Only wrappers reach to us. And we receive ultimately only 95 soaps at the cost of 100 soaps. So it was a very big shock for the company. And the owner immediately called everybody in his cabin. All the stakeholders he called in cabin, or rather all the important persons, decision-making people. He called in his cabin and told him that I want the solution on this problem. It is a very nasty problem, and I don't want a single carton to get packed if there is one wrapper without soap. So you have to solve it. So everybody assembled, then they thought on it. They thought of different technical ideas, highly technical ideas. There were electrical engineers, mechanical engineers. They thought of load cells to sense the weight of the wrapper. Then they thought of a camera to see whether there is soap in the wrapper or not. But they were all costly ideas, and the management or the owner, he didn't buy any of them. So he was not happy. The problem was not solved. So once a sweeper who was working in that department, final assembly department, he used to sweep all the garbage every day at the end of the shift. And he came up to the supervisor of that line and he told him that I heard that this problem is getting discussed at high level. I have a solution in my mind. So can I go and tell to our owner, will you come with me? So the supervisor was slightly reluctant because he knew that big people have tried and they could not solve the problem. And how this fellow is saying that he also has a solution probably which will solve the problem. So finally he got convinced that okay, I will take you to boss. He will reject or accept, I don't know, but I will take you to him. So they went and he told that boss, here is our sweeper who works in that department and he has an idea. So what idea he told, that there is a final conveyor and the complaint is that there are wrappers reaching to dealers without soap. So my idea is that by the side of the conveyor, if you have a small fan, which is available in our offices and on the shop floor also. So if a small fan is arranged by the side of the conveyor, if any wrapper comes without soap, it will fly off. This was a very simple idea in zero cost. There was no investment required and the problem was solved 100%. So this is what I want to drive home, that innovative idea can come to anyone, literally anyone. So don't forget to capture each and every idea, however absurd it may sound in the beginning. So I was talking about the tools for systematic innovation, innovative thinking, innovative problem solving. So the one of the tool is TRIZ. It is a Russian tool. And if we translate Russian TRIZ into English, then it is theory of inventive problem solving. It means TRIZ in Russia. So the idea is that how it got developed. There was one fellow who was working in patent office of Russia, and by the nature of his job, he had to study patents filed by thousands and lakhs of people day in, day out. That was his main job, to study and find whether there are similar patents and all that. So he had to find that. So while he studied that for many years, so after a few years he thought that there seems to be a repetition. That though the subject involved or the objects involved in the patent may change, there is a similarity between patents. So can I generalize the problems? And let us see how much big that list is. And to his surprise, when he studied almost 2 lakh patents, he found that they were down to 200 numbers only, 200 generic problems. And then he also concluded that there is no patent beyond these 200 ideas. And then he thought that let me relate all these problems, generic problems, to generic solutions. And so he did that, and he prepared a matrix that these are the 200 problems and these are the generic solutions which these people have found. And the idea of the TRIZ tool is that if you have a specific problem, you refer to that TRIZ table, matrix, relate your specific problem to that generalized problem, then reach to a generalized solution, and then that general solution will give you your specific solution. So that is how you reach to your specific solution, innovative solution. This is the TRIZ tool. Then there is a famous 6-hat brainstorming. So what it does, that it gives assignment to people. Suppose 6 people are there. Then one person will think only about process. Whatever idea is shared on the table, at the back of his mind there will be only process. One person will only think about benefits to the organization. The other person will think only about creativity. Fourth person will think only about cautions. So fifth person will only think about feelings, and one person will be thinking only about facts. So whatever idea is floored on the table, that will be discussed in this fashion, that these people will play the role. So this is how that 6-hat method is there, 6-hat brainstorming method. But over and above this, there is natural human ability. You all must be knowing that our brain is divided into 2 halves, left brain and right brain. So left brain is responsible for controlling the right part of the body, and right brain is responsible for controlling left part of the body. But apart from, so even if when we go to psychiatrists, the first thing he will ask you to do is to button your shirt, because we button our shirt lack of times throughout our life, but we never realize that when we button our shirt, both the brains are at work, and if left and right brain are in sync, then only we can button the shirt, otherwise not. So that is the first question asked by the psychiatrists. And there, that gives him an idea that to what extent the brains are in sync. But apart from this physical activity, apart from this, there are typical areas given to or responsibilities given to left and right brain. If we see the left brain, all the logic goes into left brain. For example, if I want to drive a four-wheeler on Indian roads in India, then I will have to keep the vehicle on the left of the road. But if I am driving the vehicle in America, I will have to keep it on the right side of the road. This is logic. At red light, I have to stop. When it turns green, I have to move. This is nothing but logic. All the laws laid down by state and center, they are nothing but logic. Then science, whatever we study in schools and colleges, analytical thinking, language, then mathematical calculations, all the tables, everything is in left brain. On the contrast, if we see the right brain, the responsibilities given to it are creativity, art, intuition, imagination. Now we people think that how poets can write poem on literally any situation. So their right brain is more active, and that is of course because of the repeated use of that right brain. So all the artists, they are having this right brain, and therefore their imagination is more powerful than the other normal people whose left brain is more active. So, and the funny part is ahead of the story, that our brains are wired in such a way that if you have a very critical problem and you are obsessed and possessed by that problem, day in, day out, sleeping, eating, bathing, you have that problem in your mind and you are not finding the solution, then your brain, right brain, has the ability to see the unseen. It can give your solution even during sleep. Now you remember that how our brain works. Whenever there is exam tomorrow next day morning and we set up our alarm clock to 5 a.m., we usually get up at 4:45 or 4:50, 10 minutes ahead of 5, because your subconscious is alive all the time, 24 by 7, and it wakes you up. That is how human brain works, the subconscious mind. So even your dream can be the solution to your nagging problem, and that is the reality, that many innovations we enjoy today are outcome of a dream to someone. Here I am sharing only two examples. There are almost 15 to 20, including DNA, design of DNA. It is the outcome of somebody's dream. Now here is Elias Howe, who invented the sewing machine. And day in, day out, he was not getting the design for the needle of the sewing machine, because the needle was having, till then, needle was having hole at the back. And all the time Elias was worried that if a needle has a hole at the back, how I can hold it into the machine, and how the thread will go into the cloth, get stitched, get locked. All these things, how it can happen if the hole is at the back. So he was not able to even sleep properly, and he was uneasy. So one day, while he was sleeping, he had a dream that he is being carried away by the security guards of the king. In his dream, he was carried away by the security guards. And to his surprise, the spear they were holding in their hand was having a hole in the blade at the top. And he immediately woke up from the sleep, and he said, and he literally shouted that I have got the design of my needle. It will have a hole in the front, not at the back. Same is the story of the Terminator, the picture Terminator. This gentleman, James Cameron, he was sleeping and he had a dream that some sort of metal in the liquid form is getting bounded together or is getting together like a mercury and getting bundled up and slowly taking shape also. It is not in the form of a drop of a liquid, but it is also taking some shape. So immediately he woke up and he got the idea of Terminator. And you all must be remembering the shot in Terminator when he is blown into pieces and all those pieces join together and once again Terminator is alive. So that is how it is the outcome of the dream of James Cameron. Now some very famous Indian innovations. The reason behind sharing this is that this is also a myth that Indians are very much behind the world in innovation. Most of the innovation happens in Western countries, European countries. This is also a myth. India has many patents on its record, on its name, but still there are very few as compared to the West countries. And if India is behind in innovation, it is only because they are behind in filing the patents. There are not many patents in the name of India, but there are many innovations in the name of India. So I will share few. Chessboard, we might not be knowing chessboard is invented by India. Then even the button, it was found in the Mohenjo-daro Harappa excavation. Even the snake and ladder, that was also invented in India. Even the optic fiber, which is so much in use in Industry 4.0 nowadays, is the invention of one gentleman from Haryana. And he invented this. That patent is in his name. So this is how Indians have also many good inventions and innovations on their name, but they are not habitual of filing the patents. Now what Albert Einstein has said, we owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count. Zero was invented by India. And he further says, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery would have been made possible. Would have been made. This is said by Albert Einstein. We do innovation, inventions, we make it, we make a prototype, use it till it wears down, then break it and then break it into pieces, and that is the end of the invention and innovation. We never file a patent and therefore it doesn't live long. And we call it jugaad. So our Indian jugaad is nothing but invention. Types of innovation. This is very important because whenever you will inculcate the innovative culture in your organization, there will be various types of innovations coming out. And you must know the categories under which it has to be registered. So these are the different types of innovations. I will start with business model. This is the business model. So we call a innovation, a business model innovation, if it makes profit to the organization, very big profit to the organization. And nothing was invented separately, but the idea itself is innovative. For example, I will share one example, that Gillette was selling razors, shaving razors. They were very expensive. So they found that in rural areas, the people are reluctant to buy their blades or razors. So what they did, they made available a cheap handle and the blades were made replaceable and they were expensive. So their business increased and they told to people that this is a consumable, handle is not a consumable, but blade is a consumable and you need not grind it, you need not re-grind it. You just throw it after use and use a fresh blade. That is how they did. Then enabling process. even in under category of business model, even the Uber and Ola will come, which nobody thought of. It is a zero asset business, and they are churning money now. So neither the vehicle was invented by them, nor the passenger journey was invented by them. But they merged everything together and made a new business. Now, enabling process. Enabling process is when it doesn't touch the core process. For example, assembly of an automobile is a core process. But if I do something by the side of the assembly line to make it more reliable, to make it more efficient, more effective, then I will be innovating, or innovative idea will fall under the category of enabling process. And it is full of transducers, photo sensors, cameras, then radio, RFID. So these are all nothing but enabling process innovations. Then comes the core process innovation. For example, Henry Ford used slat conveyor for the first time for assembly of an automobile. Till then, nobody had thought of that. So, slat conveyor was a core process innovation. Even today, we go to ATM for withdrawing our money. But 12 years back, 20 years ago, we used to go to bank, have a token, then wait for hours together and then have our money. But those days have gone. So it is a core process innovation. Product performance. You take different vehicles. One vehicle will give you 8 kilometers per liter, and other vehicle will give you 27 kilometers per hour. It is nothing but a product performance. Your mobile, the first mobile when it came to market, it didn't have camera. So if you compare first version of the mobile and today's current version, it has evolved like anything. So it is product performance. Mobile is not an invention. They are giving different features to that, adding different features into that. That is product performance. Product system. Now Apple is manufacturing various things. Various things Apple is manufacturing. But how beautifully they have linked everything to their products. Their products are interwoven. So if you buy an Apple laptop, then it will not talk with Android. Then it will not you will not be able to unload or upload the files it made in Android and so many things. But if you buy an iPad, then immediately you can load it. So that is how if your products are interwoven. Today, if you go to a bank for opening a savings account, you will end up opening a current account, you will end up opening a life insurance policy, you will end up having a demat account, and number of things, investments, everything. So actually you went there for saving account. Now you can have demat account in different bank. But if you have the demat account of the same bank, they will offer you some benefits. That is how it is. How well you have interwoven your products. That is product system innovation. Now services. When we talk about services, better customer connect. Today many people out of you might be knowing that the Google glasses have come. That if you wear that Google glass, suppose a assembler is assembling an engine and he doesn't remember the sequence that when I should do what. So if he is wearing a Google glass, then just by raising his eyebrows, he can see the assembly, how it is made, the video of that assembly. And then again he can concentrate on his job. So that is how it is. If a Google glass is the seller in the mall, if he is wearing that Google glass and a customer reaches there, then immediately as soon as the picture is taken into that Google glass, that seller will immediately come to know all the likes, dislikes, past history, do's, don'ts for this customer and everything. He will come to know about that customer. So he will be in a position to give good service to the end customer. So that is the service innovation. And then the channel. I did not even talk about it because Amazon and Flipkart and they have shown the power of channel. That how a product can finally reach to customer without him taking any efforts at his doorstep. So that is the power of channel innovation. Brand. You might have seen various advertisement on TVs and in theater hall, in theater. Those advertisements, they do not talk about the product about which they are actually advertising. So at the end they will share their CSR, we have done this much for society and we have built this hospital and so and so. And at the end, one line will be there, we also make steel. And then you will realize, oh, this is the advertisement of this company. Even Microsoft has done this. They have recently uploaded some advertisements where all these stories are emotional stories connecting you and me. Very emotional stories. That in none of the character in the story utters software a single time in that entire clip. And at the end, after when you see the entire clip, then only you are at the end you are inspired to buy a Microsoft product. But you never know till end that it was the advertisement by Microsoft. So this is the Microsoft or innovation, brand innovation. Then customer experience. One simple example I will give of my own, that I have been to Europe tour with my family and we selected one particular brand. We selected one particular brand for going there, the agency, and they gave us so much, they did so much for us that after coming back, we started advocating and what I was recommending only that agency for travel, whether it is within India or outside India. So now we recommend only and only that agency, no one else. That is how the power of customer experience innovation. And lastly, the networking. So we all are, every alternate person is part of some networking. So we need not talk about it. But one new example which I have got is that nowadays optic networking wireless networking optical or wireless optical networking is taking shape nowadays. I have read it somewhere that today to charge your mobile or a laptop is a problem. You have to come home, then you will be putting it in the position, you will plugging the charger, then plug it into the socket, and then only it will get charged. That is the condition. Nowadays, what I have heard that there are cameras and there is a beam, optic fiber beam of light, and it is not visible light, it is infrared light. You cannot see it naked eyes. So that camera will find out where you have kept your mobile and your laptop, and by a beam of light it will charge it. So this is very innovative, and this is nothing but network innovation. So that is how it is. Then I have also heard about the transmission, airborne transmitter. Today all the networking agencies have their transmitters on the ground, and therefore there is a limitation. So if you are far away from a transmitter, you may not even get the signal. But now they are thinking of having airborne transmitters in the aircrafts. So aircrafts you can imagine from the height of 32,000, 35,000 feet high. If they transmit the signal, it will cover how much area, how much big area, even by the deviation of 1 degree or 2 degree. So that is how it was all about the types of the innovation. These are 10 types of innovations. Now the million dollar question is how to start innovation drive in the organization. So what we have done, what I have done, that I will share with you. The first step. The first step is to prepare a department-wise problem bank and share it with all the stakeholders. As I said earlier, your brain will help you if you have a problem in your mind. So this is the first step and first responsibility of the organization, of the steering committee of the organization, to share problem bank among all the stakeholders, your workers, your officers, your steering committee, your dealers, your suppliers, and everybody working for the company. So you have to share that. And then let people think innovatively on that. As I said, let the idea reside for some time in their right brains. Encourage people to think creatively and gather all the ideas, however wild and absurd they might be. This is important. You have to jot down each and every idea. And then you should announce and declare publicly the think tank for the company. All the experienced people who have worked in the organization for 20 and more years, and also those who are experienced and have joined your company from outside, those all can be the part of this think tank. And this think tank will decide which idea needs to be funded for creating prototype. They will decide which idea is to be chosen for implementation. And now after this is done, after the ideas are selected and you get the results, then is the time to recognize and reward the individuals for the most impactful ideas. This is the fourth and most important step of your drive in the organization for innovative culture. You have to recognize and reward the individuals for the most impactful ideas, and that too, this must be done in public, not in private. You call that person in your cabin and hand over him an envelope carrying some letter or money or whatever you feel better. It will not please him much, but if you have a pat on his back or a small pen wrapped in a good wrapper and give it to him in front of 100 people, he will feel better. He will feel elated. Not only that, others who are watching him, who are observing him, who are seeing him receiving the gift, they will also be inspired and motivated to share their brilliant ideas, their creative ideas. And that is how the innovative ideas will start flowing in your organization. Now to conclude, many new and unique ideas are making their way. It is clear that manufacturers and marketers are listening to the needs and wants of customers and are making new products to meet the demands. Everybody can contribute to new product development, either through research and development or through their focus, energy, and their role into their organization. So if they focus and put every energy into and their commitment level to their role, then you must have all the innovations and innovative ideas to work upon. Thank you. I feel that you must have found this presentation worthwhile and useful to inculcate innovative culture in your organization. Thank you.